I want you to take a second and imagine yourself at 8 years old, or 6 years old, or 12 years old. I want you to imagine yourself as the version of you as a child, and not the one who was hurt, not that version of you. I want you to imagine the version of you as a child who believed that the world was so big. Now I want you to ask yourself, would she think you're cool? What did she think you would be like? What were her dreams? What did she envision for her future? What about her life was so exciting? What was she so ready for and excited to look forward to? Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Self-Love Archives podcast, and welcome to June, my friends. I am Julia Salvia, and I am your self-love bestie, here to give you our theme for June, and that is impressing your inner child. There's two main things that we're going to be talking about in this episode, and that's admiration and magic. And a lot of these themes for the month of June kind of bring our spring to a head. It brings it all together for us. We went from clarity and healing in April to being aggressively whimsical last month, and now we are impressing our inner child. We have spent the spring thus far healing her and letting her play. But at some point, we need to stop tending to our inner child and become the person that she looks up to. Become the person that she was always meant to grow into. Ooh, why is that making me teary-eyed? Wow, what a statement. Why is this making me teary-eyed? If I'm being so for real with you, I was teary-eyed at so much of the building and putting together of this episode because, okay, I need a tissue. Hold, please. Wow, who would have thought? Who would have thought I would have had to get up in the middle of this podcast episode to wipe my tears away? But truthfully, even in the building of what we're going to be talking about today, I got a little teary-eyed. And clearly that hasn't actually fully gone away. But these are not sad tears. These are not disappointed tears. These are really happy tears in a way that I personally am so proud of myself. The growth that I have done throughout this spring and just throughout my life in general to become the person that look, I can't even say it without tearing up, that I have become the person that my inner child, the little version of me, the younger version of me even, looks up to. And that doesn't mean that we're leaving our inner child behind. No, no, no. She's coming with us. What this actually means is we're impressing her. Impressing your inner child doesn't mean we're going backwards or leaving her behind. It is about finally moving forward, hand in hand with her. It means that we have now garnered the strength to carry ourselves in adulthood and also carry everything that we were in the past with us as well. That includes our inner child. So how do we get to this place of impressing her, right? Sometimes kids are hard to please. I don't have any kids myself, and I don't spend a lot of time around other people's kids either, just because that's the chapter I'm in my personal life. And I guess the other people that are in chapters around me have a bit more like teenage kids. But if there's anything I know for sure, I was not an easy kid. I definitely was not an easy teen for my parents. I was going through a lot all the time, and I can only imagine the way that I know myself now and I think have always known myself too as a kid, like didn't like the crust on my sandwiches. Didn't even want to eat it if it had the crust on it. So I can only imagine that it's difficult to please kids. And if it's difficult to please kids, it's difficult to please our inner child. But there's also a nuance to that because it's also easy to please kids. Because you can take the simplest thing in the world, a really expensive toy, but all they want to play around with is a spoon or a shoe or the pots and the pans. So, how do you impress someone that is hard yet easy to please? How do you impress your inner child? How do you impress the version of you that saw the world as so immense and full of so much life and so much hope and so much joy? How do you impress that version of you? I have 3 really simple but super powerful ways to impress your inner child. And the first one is do what she thought was only for special people. You know what I'm talking about. This is like that stuff that even yourself subconsciously you put to the side because you're like, that's for a special occasion. I can't wear that here. I can't do this here. I can't have that. That's reserved for special people. And by saying that to yourself, by saying that this is reserved for special people, this is reserved for a special time, that's you saying that right now in this very moment, you are not special people and this is not a special time. And I beg to differ. It is always a special time, a special moment, a special day. It will never be this day, right now, of this year, in this moment, with this weather, in this space that you are existing. You will never be this person, this version of you that you are right this second. That's special. That is so special. Your inner child did not think about limitations. She only thought about the possibilities. Let me say that again. Your inner child never thought about the limitations. She only saw the possibility. So what are you doing? Why are we only thinking about the things that will limit us, about the obstacles that you don't even know if you are going to be met with yet? Why are we not thinking about the possibility? This is about doing the thing, being seen, taking action, wearing the outfit, putting on the perfume you put to the side that you said was for a special moment, but you haven't worn it in over a year. This is about going to the places and seeing the spaces that you want to see. And I hate to break it to you, there's no such thing as special people or special circumstances. It is all how you interpret it. It is all what you give value to. So if today is a special day and you are a special person and this is a special thing, then it's all special. And if it's not a special day and you are not a special person and this is not a special thing, then it's not special. It is all what you make of it. This is something really big emotionally. Choose you. Become someone who consistently chooses you. I will ingrain this into your head, into your heart, into your soul every single time you listen to a podcast episode. I am always going to tell you to choose yourself because that is what self-love is. It is about choosing yourself, making that choice every single moment, every single day to choose you. Because if you're not choosing you, then you are not choosing self-love. If you are not choosing you, you are choosing something else. So when it comes to choosing yourself, if you don't choose yourself, you will never know the possibility of the person that you could become. You will never know that higher version of yourself, that beautiful version of yourself that you could become if you just decided to choose you today, right now, in this very moment. There are a lot of ways to choose yourself. Saying no can be choosing yourself, prioritizing yourself, leaving situations that you know do not align or no longer serve you, or situations that hurt you. Prioritizing your happiness, filling your cup, doing the things you love, whether or not they have some sort of productivity tied to them. They can just be joyful. They can just be happy. They can just be creative. They could just be something that brings you joy. And if you've listened to the past couple of episodes, you know this already. You know this one. Do things because it brings you joy. That is what it looks like to choose yourself. It's to choose things you know are going to align with you, things that are going to bring you joy, things that are going to help you, things that are going to fill your cup. The most impressive thing that you can be to your inner child is becoming someone who chooses to not abandon herself. Someone who chooses to love herself more every single day. And the third thing, create a life worth remembering. Create a life that feels like something. Create a life that you get to exist inside of, not just watch in a loop or watch in a circle as it repeats itself over and over and over again. Create a life worth living. This is the joy that you're bringing into your life. These are the rituals. This is you romanticizing your life. This is the intentional moments. This is you fulfilling all of the things on your bucket list, fulfilling all of the dreams that you have, doing the thing, taking action. This is you creating something that you want to exist in, that you want to live in. And you get to do that. This life that you're existing in right now, if it isn't something that brings you joy, if it isn't something that feels like it is worthwhile to live in, then change it. Figure out how to create a life worth living. That is something that is unique to you. And you have all of the power in the world to change it, to tweak it, to create it, to bring it to life however you want to. The inner child in us isn't going to be impressed with how busy we are. She is going to be impressed with how alive we feel, how loved we feel, how happy we are. I am so excited that this is our theme for June. I am so excited that this is what is going to close out our spring and lead us into summer. There's just something about the growth and the opportunity and the building that we go through in spring that leads us into this furious glow in the summer that just makes us come alive. This is the perfect theme to bring us into the month of June, along with our self-love book club read of the month called Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Impressing our inner child is kind of like being untamed in the way that we were before the world told us to tone it down. Until we got to that age where we thought that we were being too much. Well, I'm telling you to be too much, to go all in. Because the only way that you're going to impress your inner child is if you are ferociously yourself. Is if you are the one who believes in the possibility. Because just because the world may be bleak and life caught you by the hair and you've gone through so many obstacles and you feel like you are just scraping to be here, to exist, to be happy, to bring joy into your life, does not mean that possibility doesn't exist anymore. It does not mean that joy isn't yours to take, that creativity isn't yours to have, that inspiration isn't around the corner. All of it is still here. And I would love to think that this is not just going to be a hot girl summer. This is going to be a self-love summer. This is going to be the summer. If you want more information about how to join our free self-love book club community on the Fable app, all of the information is in the description down below. I hope you will join us. This is going to be such a good read. I know it. Before we go, I have a couple of journal prompts for you for the month of June. Some journal prompts that'll help you impress your inner child or at least connect with her. Are you ready? For week number 1, what did you think adulthood would feel like? And where might you have settled for less? For week 2, what about you right now would your younger self think is so freaking cool? Week number 3, where in your life are you playing small in ways that your inner child, your younger self, never would have? And week 4, what decision can you make this month that would genuinely impress your inner child? You are already the person that your younger self believed was possible. She didn't dream about you surviving. She dreamed about you living. She dreamed about you existing in joy and in happiness, existing in a life full of possibility. And for those of you, this may also hit home for you just as it did for me. You are allowed to be the adult that you're, here I am crying again. You are allowed to be the adult that your inner child was waiting for. You have everything that you could ever need to guide your inner child, to make her feel safe, to make her feel welcomed, to make her feel like she belongs. I want you to impress her this month. I want you to show her everything that you have become and every bit of who you are. She's gonna think you are so freaking cool. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Self-Love Archives podcast. It means the world to me that you stuck through it with me, maybe got a little emotional like your girl over here, but we trucked through it. We did it. I gave you everything that I had for you for the month of June, for the theme of June, but there is so much more to come, and I cannot wait to share it with you. I love you. I will see you back here on the Self-Love Archives podcast next week, same time, 12 o'clock Eastern. I love you and that inner child in you to the moon and back.